Yamagabayada Malia in my language, Gamilere. Uh, Hello, g'day everybody. As you heard, my name is Clinton, and along with my beautiful wife, who you can see in the photo there, I was a co-founder of Sober Non-Alcoholic Craft Beer, which was Australia's first to market non-alcoholic craft beer. Back in 2017, we kicked off this whole movement in Australia, which is now a booming industry. And it was really an extension of my lived journey, and I'll take you through parts of that lived journey and how it's all played out into what we actually do today as a company and as a business. We try and impart as much of my Gamilere philosophy, my ways of knowing and being, which is for me, my Diriyah Gamal, which is my law, into the business that we actually run, to try and help Australians to understand that we're the oldest business people on the planet. As First Nations Australians, we know how to do this and we know how to do it ethically. So about 7 years ago, just coming up 7 years, I stopped drinking. And I stopped drinking because I wanted my boys. I've got 3 children, 3 boys, 13, 11, and 5 they are now. And I wanted them to have an opportunity to learn something different. I wanted them to have the opportunity to learn that you can socialize sober, that you can deal with pain sober, that you can have a dance, that you can laugh, that you can be entertained sober. Because I didn't have that opportunity when I was younger. So from when I was about 5 to 15, I experienced a lot of abuse. I left home at a young age, couch surfed for a few years, and basically dealt with all the trauma I'd experienced as a young person through abusing drugs and alcohol. And I did that for a long time. And I did that through to having my second child. In that space and time, I'd managed to become a qualified chef. I traveled half the world. I'd gone to university and got my degree as a psychologist, continued on at university. I now have a PhD, et cetera, et cetera. But I did that all while I was really struggling. But most people just didn't realize I was struggling because I was high functioning. But I knew it wasn't well for me, and it all came crumbling apart after we lost a couple of really important people to myself and my wife in a short period of time. And my wife literally found me curled up in a ball and on the shower floor, bawling my eyes out unconsolably. And that was the start of my journey to healing. That's when I decided I wouldn't ever drink in front of my children again, and I haven't from that day. And it wasn't long after that I just decided, if I'm not drinking at home, what's the point? It was really one of my children who put that on me. He came in when he was 6 years old on Christmas morning, and he shook his little finger in my face and he said, "Dad, can you stop drinking silly drink?" And he called it silly drink because apparently I was silly all the time when I was drinking. So I just turned around, really hungover, hanging off the side of the bed, and I said, "Yeah, mate, you've got me." And that was the last time I ever drank. Problem was, I really enjoy beer, not for the alcohol. I just love the flavor of beer. And there just was no options for people like me who didn't want to consume alcohol, but really wanted to still enjoy sophisticated adult beverages. So that was the beginning of our sober journey as a business. As I said, I try and impart as much as I can in what we do as a business from my law, my Diriyah Gamal. Everything in our law is based around negotiation and compromise. 2 things that I've found largely lacking from Western business, to be honest. And that negotiation and compromise requires 100% consent from everybody at the table. Not this 50.0001 business that we tend to function off today. It requires everybody to be able to look at what is it that I'm willing to give up in order to have wellness for all, happiness for all, equity for all. So that's some of the things we put into our business. So as a profitable business, if I was going to have one, I wanted to be able to ensure that we would be able to give back. So we're a social enterprise. This is a photo here of Uncle Jack Charles and Preston Campbell. This was at the launch of the Wayne Weaver Foundation and a launch at Barunga Gallery in Brisbane. 2 foundations that I support as a business. Preston Campbell Foundation, who do amazing work with young people and giving them the opportunities to flourish. And the Wayne Weaver Foundation, giving prisoners and ex-prisoners opportunities post their time within our prison system so that they also have an opportunity to grow and flourish. That's just normal for me as Gamilarey. If I've been put in an opportunity to receive, I have an obligation to give back. That is something that isn't really understood, again, by many people within Western business frameworks. Now, I've got this picture up here because none of this would have been possible without my beautiful and amazing wife, Lozen. She's the engine room behind everything that I do. She has given up so much of her own passions, dreams, so that we could live mine for now. And when we get to this business to a point that it can start well, maybe paying me a wage at some stage in the future, then I'll have an opportunity to be able to give back and allow Lozen to be able to do the things that she wants to do. She's creative. She wants to write books. She wants to write movies. And I want to have that. So again, it's about this notion of negotiation and compromise. Lozen has always taken on board our Gamilarey ways of knowing and being, and understood that it was important for me as Gamilarey to be able to produce something that I could do good with. Thank you, everybody.